Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of the Joe Nolfo Show. Tonight we have a very special show for you. In fact, you could say it's out of this world. You've heard it before. People who say that they've been abducted by aliens, literally beamed up into a spaceship and taken away to some faraway planet where they were subjected to all kinds of experimental medical exams, and usually including anal probing before they are brought back to Earth and released. Tonight we have two of those people for you. The first is Billy Bob Williams of Booger Hollow, Tennessee, and the other is Thurston Trudeau of the Castro section of San Francisco. They will share their amazing story of how they were both abducted on the same night from their respective homes and brought to the planet Uranus, where they were subjected to many extraterrestrial experiments, and yes, anal probing was among them before they were returned. So now, without further ado, we will send you to the interview by journalist Gina Scoop as she interviews these two extraordinary gentlemen.
Hello and welcome to the Joe Nolfo Show. First of all, I want to ask you, Billy Bob, where were you and what were you doing when you were abducted by the aliens?
Well, I was on my way home from the local saloon. It's called Filthy McNasty's. We had a cornhole competition, and I'd been drinking a lot that day. I mean a whole lot. And it must have been midnight or 1 in the morning. And I knew I had to get home because I was seeing doubles of everything. And that's when this UFO flying saucer thingamajig began hovering over top of me with this light that was brighter than any light I'd ever seen before. And all of a sudden I couldn't move. I mean, my fingers and toes were stuck. Like I couldn't move a muscle or nothing. And that's when all of a sudden I was being sucked up into this flying saucer by what felt like a giant wet dry vacuum without all that racket the vacuum makes.
Whoa, that is truly amazing. So what happened when you arrived inside the saucer? Did you see the aliens there?
Yeah, they was standing right there. Believe it or not, they offered me some Tang space drink and Pillsbury food sticks, like the ones they used to sell on Earth back in the 70s. Guess they must have them in storage for when they abduct us humans. Hell, I don't have any idea what they eat on the planet Uranus. So after a glass of Tang and a food stick, they got right down to business with their so-called experiments, which at first weren't much of anything, just a regular checkup, like a rubber hammer to the knee to check the reflexes. Then it got real serious, real fast, and a whole lot more painful.
Oh my. How did they communicate with you? Did they speak English?
No, they just think it to themselves, and you could hear it inside your head. It was weird. It was really, really weird.
That truly is weird. You just said that the experiments get more serious and much more painful. I mean, please elaborate on what they did to you for our audience, please. Come on.
Oh, the first thing they did that told me this was not going to be a pleasurable experience was when they took hair samples from all over my body, and I mean everywhere. Everywhere. Man, oh man, you have no idea how much a giant handful of pubic hair hurts when it's ripped out by a giant alien hand. I thought I was going to pass out.
That is horrible. I mean, what else did they do to you? I can't imagine that it could get worse from there. I mean, tell us, did it get worse?
Well, hell yes, it got worse. And I gotta tell you right here and now, this is gonna be really embarrassing for me. But this is when that dreaded anal probing came in. And that's when I knew all those other people who had claimed to be abducted by these Martians was telling the truth. Because when they probed you, you knew right then and there, this was not the first time they probed someone. Oh no! They was what you call professional when it comes to probing poor old bastards like me.
Oh, my, that is awful. That's horrible. I gotta ask, I mean, what did they probe you with? Was it some kind of an instrument or a machine? I mean, come on, tell us, please, tell us.
I guarantee you it was no instrumental machine. Oh no, these Martians were built for probing. And you could tell by what they was doing, they was having fun. And I gotta tell you, it was downright humiliating. I mean, my friends keep calling me gay. I'm not gay, they're gay. You couldn't tell if they was even doing it for science. Or did just doing it for their damn old personal recreation.
Oh my lord, you poor man. Well, that's all the time we have with you, Billy Bob. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Story, all right. And now we travel to our second guest of the night, and that is Thurston Thurdo of the Castro section of San Francisco. Thank you for being with us tonight, Thurston. And as we understand, you were also abducted by the same exact flying saucer that Billy Bob Williams was, although you were over 2,500 miles away. Tell us, what were you doing? And where were you at when where were you at when you were abducted by the alien spaceship?
Well, it was a lovely evening in the Bay Area. It is almost nice, especially around the Castro section of San Francisco where my partner and I, Bruce, live. And we were just leaving a limbo contest at the Pink Pony Saloon that my partner Bruce had won. And I tell you, nobody can bend over backwards like Bruce can. And he was carrying the trophy he had just won, and it was made out of brass, and it was quite heavy. And that's when this flying saucer appeared directly over top of us. And then just as sudden, it began to suck us up into its carapace. It was awful. I mean, oh my, the suction was incredible, which reminded me of Bruce when we first met. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm such a joker. Anyways, it must have been the heavy trophy that Bruce was carrying that prevented him from being sucked up inside the spacecraft. And believe you me, Bruce never wants to miss out on anything like that. Oh, there I go again, always making funnies. So, just as soon as I get inside the spaceship and I get my bearings, I was offered a glass of Tang with nothing but Tang in it. I mean, when I go to a bar, I order a real drink, not a Shirley Temple. You follow me? Oh, so anyway, this fabulous alien, who I later came to know as Harvey Wallbanger, pours me some of this alien liquor. And boy, let me tell you, that space food causes a powerful buzz. I mean, 1 minute, I was like just little old me sitting inside a spaceship. And a few sips later, I was like Ben-Hur riding my Roman chariot to glory at the Colosseum. So, anyway, I finished my drink, and then Harvey telepathically informs me that he has to do a few experiments on me before he can release me, he said, and he starts removing hair all over my body. But I think he was a bit disappointed when he got to my private area because I have no hair there to speak of. No, not a big fan of the underwear hairstyles, if you catch my drift. So, after the hair specimens were collected and stored, well, that is when things got a little funky, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't kiss and tell with people from this planet, so I am certainly going to stay tight-lipped with extraterrestrial flings. Oh, not another word from me, no.
You mean to say you were not at all traumatized by the forceful hair removals and probing? I find that hard to believe.
Oh, Gina, you need to join me for Roman night at the Coliseum on Thursday nights in the Castro section. Just a couple of visits there, and believe you me, there's nothing that could ever shock you again in a spaceship.
So overall, you all would say that your experiences with these Martians was a pleasant one?
I loved it. Harvey Wallbanger described the planet Uranus to me, and I have to tell you right now, I absolutely love Uranus. And I love Uranus too, Bruce. In fact, my partner and I, Bruce, are going for a visit to the planet Uranus very soon. You see, this Wallbanger alien and his partner are returning to a dinner party at our place in San Francisco this Saturday night. And boy, is he in for a big surprise when he eats Dungeness crabs and rice-a-roni instead of Pillsbury food sticks and Tang. And then they're going to return to Earth and bring us up to their place the following Saturday for the annual White Party on Uranus. Can you believe it? A White Party on Uranus? Can you stand it? Can you stand it?
Well, I don't know about that, but Well, that's it for tonight's show. I'm Gina Scoop, and I want to thank you for joining us for another episode of the Joe Nolfo Show. Wow, Uranus. Do they have any travel brochures for that planet, I wonder? It sure sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, there you have it. The true story of an alien abductions here on the Joe Nolfo Show. I want to thank each and every one of you out there for tuning in, and please hit the subscribe button so that we can continue to bring you this top shelf entertainment. In fact, the first 100 people to subscribe will win a free 2-night stay at Hotel Uranus. So long for now. I'm Joe Nolfo, and believe you me, I'm gone.